Alright, welcome back to another video. Today we're working on the 67. It has this little baby 2-barrel on it and it is leaking like a sieve. You can see on the bottom down there it's just drip 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 drip. So I don't want to run this 2-barrel. It's a little small. I also don't feel like rebuilding it. So I went and bought an Edelbrock Performer intake manifold and a Holley 4-barrel for it. So we got our gaskets, everything to swap that out. So I'm gonna go ahead, basically disassemble everything. I gotta pull the valve covers off. I gotta disconnect my upper radiator hose, pull the thermostat out, thermostat housing, drain all the coolant, pull the distributor. We got a lot of work to do. So I'm gonna throw up a time lapse and we'll get started on this. Before we get started, here is the intake manifold. This is a Performer 390, made in the USA. And this is a Holley Truck Avenger. And before anyone asks, why'd you use a Truck Avenger instead of like a double pumper, you know, some street hot rod stuff? Well, you're gonna just have to wait and see what we're doing with the truck. But we'll go ahead and get started working on it. Pull the valve covers off, and the valve train on this thing actually looks really good and clean. Not a whole lot of surface rust or anything, not a lot of buildup on the head or anything. I mean, a couple of the tops, the valve springs look a little bit of surface rust. This side, it's not as clean, but it's definitely still really good for being from 1967. And then the intake manifold gaskets down there, you can look, but they look almost brand new. So wondering how many miles this truck really has on it, because the interior was pretty clean, the seat and everything, and then now the whole valve train assembly looks really good. So we'll pull the intake off and see what everything looks like below that. Alright, so as per usual, this is not a how-to guide on how to do any of this stuff, but I got all my seal surfaces cleaned. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my intake gaskets on. I'm gonna put sealer around all the ports on both sides just to help hold the gasket in place and help seal. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a very thick bead of silicone on both of the walls. You don't want to use those gaskets they come with for the walls, these ones, because they always leak. So everyone just says to do a thick bead on both walls. On this one, there's no dowel pins to align the intake manifold, so I'm going to set it on. I'm going to get my bolts put in place, not tighten anything down. The bolts are really just to hold the gasket in place. And then I'm going to put my distributor in and make sure all my push rods can fit through before I torque all my intake bolts down. So let's go ahead and do that. I just made a discovery I want to share with you guys. On the bottom of this gasket, it has these hooks, and those hooks will actually hook in to hold the gasket in place so you don't have to worry about it sliding back and forth when you're moving your intake manifold. So that's pretty neat. So I'm gonna go ahead, get my RTV put on all these, everything installed, and yeah. My GoPro died and I didn't even realize until I got finished up here, but here's where we're at. You notice I put some RTV on all the intake bolts. Those are pass-through bolts, so you want to put RTV on those or you'll get oil seeping up onto your intake. I torqued those down to 15 foot-pounds, 25, and then finally I did 32.5. I think it called for 34 or 32. Sorry, 33 to 35. I think I did 33.5, just good middle ground. There is a sequence. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's available online if you want to check that. And then I put the valve train back together. I hand tightened it all, and then I torqued it slowly up to 40 foot-pounds. Just make sure that everything is good, and you want to go from one end to the other or else you could bend that valve train. So that's all good. Threw my valve covers on. As you can tell, I didn't clean anything. It has been raining today, unfortunately, so I was trying to get this all covered up as quickly as possible. But I got that Holley Carb put on, threw my air cleaner on, threw my spark plug wires back on, everything's assembled. I put my coolant temp on. Everything's good to go. Tomorrow I'm gonna go get a new gasket for my thermostat housing. I'm gonna get new heater lines because I've never had a heater in this truck, so get heater lines put in. I gotta swap over the heater line port for this one. That's pretty much it. I basically threw the distributor back on and the same orientation. I took it off, and then when I got it running, I just fine-tuned it by ear. Runs really good and smooth now. I ran it a little bit without the coolant, but tomorrow I will be finishing that all off. I also got rid of the whole weird push-pull throttle linkage. I got to put in just a straight rod to the carburetor. Might work a little better, look cleaner as well. But she is a runner. Very smooth. Idle's a little choppy. Honestly, it doesn't sound too bad. I'm not sure if I have a weak cylinder or maybe my valve train's not working pretty good, but I also haven't timed it at all. I've just done it by ear, so I can bring the idle down a little bit, it sounds like, but all in all, she's doing pretty good. Starts right up. I did get some water in the cylinders because the first startup it was smoky as all heck, but that ended up clearing itself out. So tomorrow, a few finishing touches, fill it up with coolant, and we should be good to cruise her around. Alright, so here is the pig with lipstick. Nice new Edelbrock reformer intake. Edelbrock air cleaner. I got that truck avenger underneath there. All my wires are put back up. Put some new heater hoses on. I think that's it. I got my fuel tank hosed up, my fuel line hooked up. Topped it back off with coolant. Everything's back together. Get in here. Sounds like I have an exhaust leak or something going on over here. It's a slight ticking. She's running pretty smooth. She sounds good. Got straight pipe still. I did notice, because the heater core when I got the truck was bypassed, and I figured they probably had an issue with the heater core. I hooked it up just to confirm, and as you can see, there is coolant all over the floorboard, and that means we got a leak in the heater core. So I'm gonna have to disassemble all this, replace the heater core, and then top off my coolant, but that's not the end of the world. These floorboards, that explains why this side is a lot more rusty than the other side. They probably had a leak for a little bit and it was soaked in the carpet, but that's all right. She's doing pretty good. Still gotta figure out what I'm gonna do about the level on it, but yeah. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.